Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. If you've been following my latest videos, you are aware that I have recently acquired an E39 M5, and I wanted to sort of cover everything that is wrong with this car. Of course, this is a used car, about 18 years old now. It's a 2002 model, so you can definitely expect some things to be wrong with it, especially being a European luxury car. So I wanted to kind of run through that list with you all and share what are some of the things that I know I'm gonna have to be dealing with, and I guess some of the things you can expect when you're buying a car like this. Alright, so I'm gonna start with the exterior of the car, which is obviously the first thing I notice, or first thing you'll notice when you're looking to buy a car. Now, as far as the paint job is concerned, the car is in very good shape. It does have some, you know, chips here and there, especially in the front area, front hood, bumper, as any car this age would have by now. A lot of them have been covered with touch-up paint, so it really doesn't look bad at all. But there are two areas where I do need to do some repairs, mainly the door handles here. If you can see in the camera, maybe right there, the clear coat has started to fail on these, in all four of them actually, rears and front. So good thing is I can get this piece removed, of course, quite easily, and get them painted to get that taken care of. And the only other big one here is right here on the passenger side, rear corner. There's definitely been some scratch here, and a little bit of surface rust started to form here, so I gotta take care of that. Now the wheels, and there's really nothing wrong with these wheels. However, if you are familiar with these cars, you will notice that there is something different here, and it is the color. These wheels have been refinished, so they are no longer the shadow black chrome that comes from factory, which is a very good looking color if you ask me. So these have been refinished in just I guess a plain silver, so they don't really look as nice as they would have otherwise. You know, nothing major, but I still consider that something that is wrong with this car. Now the last thing I wanted to cover on the outside of the car is these, I guess, weather seals, trim, or whatever you call these rubber pieces. There are some areas where, like here in the front passenger side, where they're missing some pieces, or where they have torn apart, and you know, you definitely don't want water damage in these pillars or anywhere around the windshield. So it's something that I may have to take care of at some point. I'm not sure really how bad it is. So far it's just looking from the outside. If you look at the rear, this one's starting to show its age as well, and one tiny little piece here on the passenger door that is starting to rip apart, so I'm actually very careful when I'm washing the car in this area. You can see some more cracks here, and actually a missing piece on this side, on the driver's side as well. And let's move on to the interior of the car, which is obviously the next thing where you or the next area where you'll start noticing whatever may be wrong with the car as soon as you buy it and drive it home. And not too much to complain about in this interior space. It's actually in very good condition, but there are some things that are wrong with it. And we'll start here with the LCD screen. I'm not sure if it's possible to see on camera. Maybe in this angle you can see there's some bubbles starting to form here. It looks like yeah, just that, like water bubbles behind the LCD screen somehow. Not sure how that happens. Also, navigation doesn't seem to be working. Well, at least the maps don't work, and that is because, so the computer back here in the trunk doesn't seem to be working, and it won't read the discs for some reason, and after a while it just ejects the disc. And I mean, these maps are really outdated by now, so I couldn't care less about that. And moving on to the steering wheel, you can definitely see this piece here in particular, the bottom piece cover is starting to show its age, and it's been it's crashed and starting to lose the black finish in these two corners here. Of course, this piece is about $180 new, which is just amazing, but doesn't bother me that much. But I'll probably be either refinishing this somehow or replacing it later on. Now, another thing that is no longer working is the key fob here, or is, I guess, halfway working. For some reason, the lock button just doesn't work, and it was actually working when I got the car initially, and stopped working about a few weeks of ownership. Don't know what it is, if it's the button itself or if it's a programming issue. So whenever I have to lock the car, I actually have to insert the key and do it manually. Everything else works though. I can unlock the doors, no issues there, and the trunk and everything else. I do have a brand new key that I got from BMW that I still need to program, so that'll probably do it and fix everything. The other thing I noticed, and let's move to the back here, is if you look at the rear windows on the M5, I don't know if they all came with this, but at least however this one was option, has the OEM shades, which I love. But one of the coolest things about this car, and just show some detail, is that it's supposed to have another shade here for this tiny window. You can see the other clip here, and the housing for the roller, and none of them are actually on the car anymore, so they've probably been removed at some point, or they broke, I don't know. They're just not there on either side. And last but not least, I have noticed a bit of a cabin noise, and let's switch over to a driving clip to see if you can hear it. It appears to be coming out of this corner here, and I'm not sure if it's something mechanical, so maybe on the wheel bearing or something, or if it's just something on the interior. I know this whole back was taken apart at some point. Previous owner had to, obviously, to redo the shocks and springs. Yes, everything has to come apart to do that job on this car, just to get to the rear shocks. So maybe on the way it was put back together, you know, something didn't align correctly, and it's just making that noise. Don't know what it is. It is annoying. I gotta take care of it. Right, so we've covered the exterior, the interior, and next thing, of course, is going to be mechanical stuff. That's where the money is usually. So to me, probably the most important aspect of a car like this. Now this engine seems to be in very good condition. It idles great, doesn't make any strange noises, and you know, all of the, I guess, symptoms I've read about on, you know, things to watch out for on these S62 engines are just not there. You know, are the rod bearings okay? Are the chain guides okay? I don't know, to be honest. The car has never been through service on vanas or rod bearings or chain guides, but you know, it seems okay. I'm gonna have to get an oil sample sent out to a lab, and then hopefully see if there are any signs of metals or anything that I should worry about. But for the time being, everything seems okay. Now the first thing I noticed that was bad on this car was the aux fan here, and I actually found out the hard way as I was sitting in stop and go traffic on my way to pick up my son, and the car started overheating, and as you can imagine, my heart skipped a beat. You know, I just bought this car. I know how expensive this engine can be, and you know, aluminum blocks don't do well with heat. So it was a very scary moment, to say the least. Anyhow, I noticed that the car would get back to temperature when it was actually moving, so I knew it was something with air circulation. And yes, it ended up being the aux fan, which I've already replaced. So this is actually a new one. I got another video on that coming soon, and it's now everything, you know, it's working perfectly fine. Now while I was doing that repair, which by the way takes involves taking the entire front of the car, I had a chance to inspect a little bit of the engine bay from various angles, including from the bottom up. And that's when I noticed the next thing that's wrong with this car. There appears to be a leak here, and let me cut to another clip where you'll probably see better. There appears to be a leak on the power steering system, and that's, I guess, very common on most BMWs that I've owned. So something I need to take care of for sure. And last but not least, and we're gonna have to get under the car to look at this. So as you can see here, there is a bit of a leak right on the bottom of the differential. So it is minor. It, you know, rarely actually hits the ground, and I only see the leak after I've used the car for a while. But you can see here by the, I guess, stains on this piece of the exhaust, where this may have been leaking at some point before, a lot more, especially when the car is in movement, based on the, I guess, the splash type patterns we see here. So that's definitely one thing that I gotta take care of. I'm not sure which one of the seals. There's three of them. The one that goes to the drive shaft, and the ones that, you know, on the side for the axles. But you know, something I need to repair for sure. And while we're here, it is worth noticing the other piece, or the other issue that I have with this car. So the pipes you see here have been installed by a previous owner at some point, and this was originally a factory resonator that would sit here in between the mufflers and the catalytics, and I guess either they went bad, or I'm assuming the owner just wanted to get a little bit more sound out of these engines, so they decided to take off the resonators. Now these are just, I guess, generic pipes. I don't necessarily see any quality engineering involved here, so this is not like one of those Performance X pipes that are designed for flow and sound. So I am not necessarily in love with how it sounds, to be honest, but I'm gonna be taking care of that very soon. And that is pretty much the list of all the things that are wrong with this car, or at least the ones that I'm aware of so far. And as you can see, there is really nothing major or critical on the list, which I am very happy about. The car runs great, drives great, feels great. So I'm very lucky to have found an example like this that was just very well taken care of. But this is also, I guess, a testament to, you know, how well these cars were built back then. This is just a solid car and a quality build all around by BMW. Now I do plan to take care of everything on that list, of course, so watch out for new content on the M5 as I go through all the various repairs. And if there's something you think I may have overlooked, or that is you know, critical to inspect in this type of car, let me know on the comments below. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and you know, subscribe if you want to follow along, and I will see you all on the next one. Peace.